Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. Good day for me. Um, let's talk about what I wore. I went with Apex by Fragrance World. Uh, First off, let's talk about this bottle. First off, it's a quality bottle. It is a heavy bottle, heavy cap, heavy bottle. Uh, you know, decent atomizer. It's got the FW on the top there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to make that out or not. Fragrance World written on the back. So heavy but nice fragrance. Uh, I don't like this. I like the design of it. This sticks out way too far. It's kind of cheesy. Some people are gonna like it. And that's fine if you do. But I would prefer it just to have been flat, or even just maybe stuck out a little bit. It's an inch out there, man. It's just a little cheesy to me. But you guys have a look. You guys think it's cheesy? Do you like it? There's nothing wrong with liking a little cheese. I like a little cheese from time to time. Let's be real. But let's get into the fragrance, shall we? So first off, get this out of the way. It's a dupe of Penhaligon's or whatever, Blazing Mr. Sam. I have no idea. Can't tell you. Never smelled the fragrance. Probably never will. It's not in my wheelhouse. Not because I wouldn't buy it or anything. It's just I'm not gonna buy something like that at that price that I won't be able to even smell or try. I really like to try something like that, or I can't walk into a store around here and try that stuff. So out of my wheelhouse. So I can't tell you if it's a good clone, but by all accounts, from what I've read and heard and stuff, it's a really good dupe of the Blazing Mr. Sam by Penhaligon's. So we'll have to go with what people tell me. I don't know. So, but let's just talk about the fragrance on its own. Shall we? So some of the notes I could find, actually most of the notes I think, are cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, saffron, cumin, tobacco, vanilla, cedar, patchouli. I also pick up a couple not listed. I pick up a bit of an oud in this, a little bit of Eastern vibe. It's not a super oudy scent by any stretch of the word, but I do pick up a tiniest hint of oud, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of incense, and definitely a lot of. Now it may not be a note; it could be a chord mixing these things together, but definitely a boozy vibe to this. And so I don't think like any of them are listed, but I'll get into it when I talk about the fragrance, what I pick up. But they're some of the notes I think that aren't listed that I could find anyway. So from the very, very first spray, it has this sweet, but not overly sweet, fruity sweet, sugary sweet, candied sweet type of fragrance. No, it is this nice, somewhat, and this is where I'm getting somewhat like a boozy, a sweet rum, or some people might say bourbon. I'm getting more of a rum and more of a spiced rum because I'm picking up pretty quickly with that kind of sweet booziness. Some of that kind of soft, spicy cardamom is noticeable, but the pepper and cinnamon are really noticeable. Even maybe a hint of nutmeg in there coming with that cinnamon. This spicy kind of spiced rum aspect, and mixing with a tobacco, the slightly smoky, where I'm getting the kind of incense smoky kind of tobacco. Very nice, very nice. But it's very pepper cinnamon heavy, and the cinnamon in this isn't your sweet, again, sugary kind of cinnamon we're used to in the West. It's more of your dry, woody, sharp, even somewhat mentholated kind of cinnamon that cinnamon can do when it's not super sweet. Tickles the nose. Very nice, very nice. And that's pretty much the scent, honestly, from start to finish. It stays. Things take front seat to back seat, but then you pick them all up still. And then towards the base, you start picking up on a little more of the, again, slightly sweet uh, vanilla, and some of the woods come out, some of the cedar, adding a little more to that peppery vanilla vibe in the base, the cedar, kind of woody, peppery cedar. And again, like a woody patchouli. And yeah, it's a very nice fragrance. That's kind of the whole fragrance. Not super complicated, but not super simple either. There's a lot going on. I mean, I know I described it, but there's, like I said, there's booziness, there's spices, there's woods, there's smoke, there's going on and on and on. And, but it's kind of, I don't want to say linear, but it really does keep that opening from start to finish. It just kind of, like I said, takes a backseat to a few other notes and the chords as they come out. I like it. I like it a lot. It took me some time, though. I've worn it a few times. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that in there. I've worn it a few times just around the house. Today was the first day, I believe, I wore it out. And the first time I sprayed it, this is not, again, this is one of those ones that got to be on skin. I'd avoid clothes. I'd avoid testing it on paper. Test it on your skin. Because on paper, even to this day, it just smells. That's where I really pick up that kind of saffron, oud, cinnamon vibe, that very Middle Eastern vibe. And I don't like that. And I was afraid when I put this on, that's what it was going to be smelling like. And on my shirt, this kind of smells like that too. I avoided the shirt today. And, but on my skin, you pick up, and this is the bad part of the fragrance for me, maybe not for you. And it's not even that bad because it's really just kind of in the background. And it is adding a bit to the fragrance, but you pick up a bit of a funky, ever so slightly funky oud, tiniest bit of it. And the saffron kind of just give it a bit of that saffron oud Middle Eastern vibe that I personally don't like. Not that I hate Middle Eastern vibe. I love Middle Eastern, but rose and saffron and rose and oud and saffron and oud kind of don't do it for me. Saffron especially. I like saffron, but not with an oud combo. It always just, it's a personal thing. It's not something I like, so... But it's not too prominent in this, so it's still really good. Yeah, the fragrance is really good. Like I said, it took some time, though, for me to come around to it. And so at the end of the day, all that crap, what is it? Spicy, boozy, sweet tobacco fragrance. Boom, at the end. It's got a bit of a flair to it, like I said. You know, it's not just, you know, it's not Spice Bomb. It's not Amen Pure Tobacco or whatever it is. I mean, it's got all those types of vibes, but it's its own thing. It's not as sweet as them. It's not as mainstream as them. It's got a little bit of funk, a little bit of kick to it, you know, and it's really nice fragrance. How I applied it, it is strong, very strong. We'll get into the performance in a minute. So I went with 2 in my moisturizer, 1 on the back of the neck, 1 on the chest, half of kind of 1 in each crink of the elbow, and that was it. No shirt, nothing like that. I don't like it on clothes or anything. It's got to be on skin for me anyway. And performance, like I said, pretty good. Almost beast for the first hour of that projection. It's out there. You can say beast. It's out there. Then it comes in for another hour. Really good, arm's length, if not a little more. Then it comes in and gives you this nice bubble. You are picking up whiffs and wafts like crazy. You're leaving a trail behind you. 5 or 6 hours. You get a couple hours of really radiating skin scent, you know, 7, 8, 9 inches off the skin. Then it kind of sits close on the skin for a few hours, actually, but it's time to reapply, right? So you're looking at about 10 hours at least with this, maybe a little better depending on your skin type, maybe a little worse depending on your skin type, but on me it was about 10 hours, so that's pretty damn good for like the $30 I paid for it or whatever it was. And it just smells so nice that, like I said, it smells like a bit mainstream, a bit designerish, a bit mass appealing with its sweet tobacco and spices. But the way they use, like I said, the saffron, a bit of that oud, and the drier, woodier cinnamon gives it a bit of a more of a, you know, a mysterious flair to it. You know, you're not going to smell like you just put on Spice Bomb. You know what I mean? A spicy tobacco, sweet tobacco fragrance. something like that. You know, you're going to smell like you have something similar to mine, but you're going to turn a few heads, and I think in a good way, which brings me to compliments. I had 2 today, both from the coffee girls down by my work where I get my coffee. I walked in, they took my coffee, and I talked to them for a few minutes. Oh, how's your day going? You know, hope you're having a good day, blah, blah, blah. And they were both like, one of them was like, oh, I like what you're wearing. And the other one was, oh, that's you. I like that. That smells nice. And I had it on for like 4 hours, 5 hours. So it was still, like I said, not so much projecting, but I was only a couple feet away from them, you know, across the counter type deal. So it's doing its trick. It'll get you compliments. Is it going to knock people over? Oh my God, best thing ever smelled? Not most people. Somebody might, but not most people. But it's definitely something people are going to notice and generally like, I think. So yeah, and again, as far as comparing it to the Blazing Mr. Sam, don't know, don't care. This suits me just fine. I don't need to go out and spend that kind of money on something I can't test first. So, which brings up companies. Have a way for us to test your stuff. I don't care if you're niche, you're independent, or whatever. Have a way, even if it's just a cheap thing we can buy for like $5 a sample. Make it happen. Make it easy too. I don't want to have to go jump through fucking fire hoops to get a sample of your fragrance. I go to your website and give you $5. You send me the damn thing. You know, not $5 and $19.99 shipping either. $5. You're making thousands, if not millions of dollars off $5. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.